Hello and welcome to Extreme Metal Television. I'm your host Simon. In this episode we'll have a look back at last month's David Gold tribute concert and we'll have a chat with Into Eternity. But first, let's start off with a band profile.
Kyoktys was formed in 2010 in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. The band released their debut EP, A River in Hell, in 2011.
I sort of met up with guys that were already in Kyoktys, Nate and Ryan, and I had a bunch of songs written on 8-string guitar, and me and Che were in a band called Power Murder before, and then we all kind of just smashed into each other out of the blue, and it sort of started from there, and then we just added more and more songs, and we record them. And
so is the 8-string then really influential in your songwriting process and your sound, do you think? Because I think you can hear it when you're listening to it.
I would say yes.
I would say, especially because I went out of my way to buy a rig. I went down with Doug, which, not to get into too much musical jargon, I mean, lots of guys transpose up, but I went down, and that's kind of almost defying physics. So I had to get a proper rig to do that, and yes, so obviously it changes the sound or defines the sound.
Now the lyrics seem to deal with a lot of real life situations. Where does that the inspiration come from with the lyrics?
Just before you start, I think real life. Shit fucking happens and it sucks, and most of the time shit sucks until it's cool for a while.
Yeah, well, that's basically it, right? Like, we're not gonna sing about things that don't happen in our life, we're not gonna make up shit, because what's the point? We don't need to. Yeah. We have shit to talk about, and another thing about all this shitty, horrible shit that happens in our lives is for other people to realize that it's, even though shitty stuff happens, you can still go out there and fucking have a good time and play music and live your life and have a good time with it,
What's next for Kyoktys?
We're working on a full-length album. We're setting up a tour again in July. Maybe, we're working on it right now. I'm in the midst of setting up what I'm going to call Calgary Metal Fest. It's going to be, I guess I'd be kind of announcing it. It's exclusive! It's exclusive! It's my birthday that turned into, I'm turning 30 on June 7th, so on the 8th and 9th I got 29 bands from all around the prairies. We're going to be playing that. We got the 420 show coming up at the distillery with Lava Goat, Cron Goblin. Who am I missing? Lordosis,
yeah. And us, of course.
Yeah, and just write, record, tour, repeat. Write, record, tour, repeat. That's really our mantra, man. We just want to be working,
Late last month, there was a tribute show held right here in Calgary for Woods of Ypres frontman David Gold, who tragically passed away on December 22nd. We had the opportunity to cover the show, and myself and Dr. Gore's band Gales of Avalon also had a chance to perform. Jessica Morrison from Devil's Work Promotion put the show off. We asked her why she decided to do so.
Well, I've known David since about 2008. First saw them play at Mac Hall. And Woods of Ypres played my shows, well, Devil's Work shows 3 years in a row. And just over that time we kind of became friends and just thought, with the help of Don from Rev Kill, I have to mention him because he helped a lot with this show. We both kind of felt it was necessary to do something, so to honor him and pay tribute.
So what did David and Woods of Ypres music mean to you?
Well, for me, I remember one of the pulling factors for me seeing them at Mac Hall was their song Ontario Town, because I lived in Ontario and Hamilton, which as far as I'm concerned is the armpit of the world. So when I heard Ontario Town, I was just like, oh my god, just totally could relate to it.
show together tonight.
Yeah.
Yes, I was.
How did that, or why did you choose to do that, I guess?
Just because I felt he deserved the respect, you know. Just because he was a hard-working guy and he came here lots and he has become a part of our scene.
Why did you decide to play this tribute show to David Gold?
I guess saw it being saw Jess looking for bands on Alberta metal, and I liked Woods of Ypres, I liked their music, and I just like doing these kind of things. Like we did the Death tribute, I guess. It was the last couple of years we've done the Death tribute, and they're really cool shows to get involved in. It's kind of nice to see everyone coming together and having a good time. It's fun to learn someone else's songs, you know, and it's just, you know, it's pretty fucking shitty what happened, man. So I was like, you know, that could be any of us. So it's kind of nice to think that, you know, people in another part of the world are maybe actually going to remember what you did and the music that you made.
Earache Records recently released Woods 5, Grey Skies and Electric Light, and let me tell you, the album is fucking fantastic. You should definitely pick it up. It kicks some major ass. There's another big tribute show scheduled for April 7th in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, featuring the likes of Kitty, November's Doom, and our good friends in Hallows Die, as well as many, many more. The show's gonna kick some major ass. I suggest if you're anywhere near there, you definitely check that one out. We got up with Greg and Joe from Phantom Limb at the tribute show, and this is what they had to say about David.
He was a good guy, good friend to everybody. He was always there in terms of musicians, for input. If you wanted any sort of information or anything like that, he'd help you out. He was good that way.
Absolutely, yeah. Like I was saying on stage, you know, like, in my opinion, he kind of set the blueprint for independent musicians in a lot of ways. Like, he showed you can be successful and you can, you know, I know magazines are kind of passé at this point, but he was, you know, getting on the front cover of magazines, and he was getting on big tours just by doing it yourself and doing it properly. So I think he was kind of definitely a guy that showed the blueprint for a lot of independent musicians to show how to do things, especially in this day and age of the music industry where it's so hard. He kind of showed that it is still possible to make a living and get good exposure.
David Gold and Woods of Ypres music was a major inspiration for me. They're by far my favorite band. It's just major shocking what happened there, and yeah, I couldn't be more thrilled to play a show for Woods of Ypres and David Gold. It means a lot. It means a lot.
So you played 3 Wood songs tonight. Why did you pick those songs to play?
Well, Shutting the Deadwood was one of my favorite songs. I'm really glad that we could play that song. Your Ontario town is a burial ground speaks for a lot of everybody, for their own town and their own experiences. I love that song as well. And Wet Leather, what can I say? That's a fantastic song as well.
Canadian prog metalers Into Eternity recently rolled through town, and we had a chance to sit down and speak to Tim Roth and Brian Newberry about the recent changes the band has gone through.
Brian was first, and that was, I guess, in January
of last year,
of 2011. Yeah. So I guess it's been over a year now. Yeah. Actually, we've just had our anniversary.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't get you anything.
Oh, that's
okay. But we got Brian through my best man, Derek, and I said we need a drummer. We needed to get the band back together because we started to get concerts. Puerto Rico was the first concert that they had offered us, so we needed to get a drummer. And Derek said the best drummer in Edmonton was Brian Newberry, so we flew him down, and he kicked ass. He did so good and crushed, and learned all the songs in record timing, and we did long jams, like 8 hours a day, which is real tiring for a drummer. But he had no problem. And then, as far as Amanda goes, actually Brian suggested Amanda.
Yeah. She's just a good friend of mine. I've known her for many years.
10 years, I guess.
Yeah, just about. And I actually had no idea she was interested until she sent me a text one day, said, "Oh my God, I had no idea you guys are looking for a singer. I want to try out." And I said, "Really? Do you think you can do it?" And yeah, she's like, "Oh yeah, I'll practice every day and I'll work on stuff. I said, okay, well, here's Tim's information, contact him, and
She made 2 videos.
The rest is you.
It was Timeless Winter she shot and Sandstorm. And she was doing stage moves and and then as she filmed it, so she was doing the moves and singing it, and she could do it, so we flew her and Brian down. And then we worked with her for 5 days or 4 days, and then now we've worked with her for another solid like 10 days, so she's still real new with us, and she's gotten so much done. And she
fits in great. She
Yeah.
gets along with everyone.
Yeah, I think the fans are really gonna like her.
Into Eternity recently released the single Fukushima, and we asked Tim a little bit about the release.
Well, yeah, we're going a song at a time and just selling it on iTunes and Bandcamp, and it's been going great actually. We're selling both songs through there, and just to give the fans some material before an album is released. Right now, the next thing up is all of our vinyl releases. We're getting 4 albums released on vinyl: Dead or Dreaming, Scattering of Ashes, Incurable Tragedy, Buried in Oblivion. So that's going to come out on War Music Records and Century Media. So that'll be first up, but I'd love to get the new album on vinyl and CD as well. But for now, just singles, to tie the fans over and to show them what we're doing.
Now, do you find that releasing singles is being beneficial, like as being in the band?
I think it's great. I've always wanted to do something like that instead of, and people like the singles. Maybe they don't. I know some people are waiting for a full album, and they will get that, but.
And we're in an age of downloading crazy, so people like to just buy a song here.
Song at a time.
Alright, and you guys got what kind of upcoming moves do you have?
Well, we just signed with a new booking agent out of Europe, so we'll do the UK, Europe, Asia is what we're looking towards. But first up will be hopefully a Canadian tour, maybe in June, but we're doing an actual US tour. Dates are already being booked in August. So we'll be starting a tour, and well, these first 4 shows, these are our warm-up shows in Canada. So first we start in Canada, and then we'll move to the rest of the world.
We picked a good time, right?
Yeah, and of course it's a blizzard today.
It's a good test of our will.
Yeah, we made it here. Nothing can stop us. We're a Canadian band.
Now Into Eternity played a killer set, and I can't think of a better replacement for Stu Block than Amanda Kiernan. She has fantastic vocals, both harsh and clean, and she demands your attention on stage, as you can see for yourself.
Well, that's it for another episode of Extreme Metal Television. I'd like to thank you all for tuning in. I'd also like to thank my co-hosts, King and Dr. Gore. If you ever want to get a hold of us, you can always email us at extrememetaltelevision@gmail.com. Don't forget our Facebook group. You might want to check that out. But before we let you go, I'd like to leave you with a terrible tale from the road from Buzz McGraw from Unearth.
Morning, about 20 miles outside of Calgary, I just shit in a bag. That was very unpleasant. Like, I was sleeping, we were on our way to the show, and it woke me up. I was like, oh man, I'm very uncomfortable right now. So I went up to the driver, I was like, are we stopping for is there like a truck stop or anything? He's like, yeah, can you make it 20 miles? I was like, I'll try. So I paced back and forth for about 4 minutes. It's like, nope, not gonna make it. Because you can't shit in the bus toilet or put any toilet paper down. So what you do is you put a bag, like a grocery bag, and then it's called hut bagging it. You tie it up and drop it out the window.